Thank you, guys. Where's Audrey?
Audrey's right here.
Audrey.
Hold on, watch this. Watch this.
My God, Audrey and Frank, thank you guys so much. You're such wonderful friends. Thank you for opening your house. This is amazing, as always. God bless you guys, and thank you so much. I'm also honored to be here with Darrell. I was an Air Force pilot for 20 years. I flew in combat all around the world. I spent 2 years in the White House working for President Bill Clinton, carrying the nuclear football. I had an office and a bedroom in the White House. I watched this guy. I learned a lot about leadership from this guy, his experience, his professionalism, his integrity. He gets reelected. I get elected in 2020. Yes. We got a lot of work to do in this country. We've got a lot of work to do in this state, right? California. As I said earlier, there's 53 congressional seats in this state. Only 7 are held by Republicans. There's something wrong with that. If you look at what's happening in the city of San Diego, in LA, San Francisco, and Sacramento, the homelessness, what's going on with Gavin Newsom and Jerry Brown, it's intolerable. It's got to the point where it's unacceptable anymore. We need people like Darrell back in office. Let's talk about the impeachment for a second. Oh my God. Okay, I worked for President Bill Clinton during his impeachment. I saw how that, and he was actually convicted of real crimes. He was convicted of perjury. So President Donald Trump has been convicted of absolutely nothing. Right. And I think that's going to be a great, most Americans are really upset with this. I am. I cannot watch this a single day longer. I look at Adam Schiff and Jerry Nadler and Nancy Pelosi, and I cannot fathom the damage they're doing to this country and President Donald J. Trump. I am a Trump supporter. I campaigned for him. I campaigned for him in 2016. I am looking forward to campaigning for him in 2020 and being by his side in 2021 when Darrell and I both get back into office and push this country and this state forward. We have got a lot of work to do. And thank you guys for being here, guys and girls. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Audrey, again for hosting this. Thank you for supporting campaigns. It takes a lot of money in this nation to run a campaign. It takes a lot of money in this state to run a campaign. Oh my God, I cannot tell you, if you're a Republican in California, you are looking at an uphill battle like you cannot believe. But we need to do this. We need to rally behind each other. We need to support this, support our president, go forward. And thank you all for being here. God bless you guys. I'm going to win. Darrell's going to win. And we're going to support Donald Trump in 2020. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Audrey, you're the best. Thank you for having this. Thank you for hosting this. I love you. Thanks.
Thank you, Buzz. Lieutenant Colonel Buzz Patterson. Ladies and gentlemen, before I bring up Darrell, there's a couple of people I do want to recognize. That amazing technology that you saw before on your cell phones, right? The man who invented that is here. His name is Bob Lolito. Bob, you wave hello? That gentleman back there. 40-year engineer, an incredible career. Way beyond my head. Unbelievable. So thank you, Bob. The band members, where's Bob? Bob, where are you? Oh, Bob, would you come in here for a second?
He's breaking in. He's breaking in.
Bob, would you just? I just want to. Okay, checking for spies.
That's exactly right.
Okay. Don't worry, I'm right here. Don't worry, I'm right here. Would you?
How about a round of applause for someone who has worked really, really hard to make this happen too? Aside from Al Hahn. What a pleasure. And the guys in the band, really, really good people. Philo and the boys, thank you so much. Enjoy your food. I'm not going to take up your time because there are some people here who are wonderful and much more important than I. So thank you again for being here. It means so much. And don't forget to sign the petition to recall you know who. Okay? Sign that petition and donate if you can. All right, thank you again. Enjoy. Have fun.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we saved the best for last, right? Okay. I knew Darrell since 2002, I think. I ran for secretary of the CRP one time. He heard me speak. I didn't know him. He didn't know me. He's like, that was a really good speech, dude. I'm like, oh, cool. Thank you, sir. I didn't know who he was either. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, he needs no introduction. We all know him. We love him. Congressman Darrell Issa.
I was kind of looking forward to that introduction. You want to come back up and try it again? No. You know, 2002 was kind of an interesting time. I know that Audrey and Frank, that's before your time, before my time, before everyone's time here. But if you think way back in your history books, where were we in 2002? Well, in 2002, we were just re-electing Gray Davis. Everything. Well, I recall that. Our state was a mess. One of our major utilities, Pacific Gas and Electric, was going into bankruptcy because they were being told they had to sell their electricity below their cost, the cost of buying it. And as a result, the state was a mess. The lights were going out. Okay, so history's repeating itself. As fire it doesn't hurt either. The fact is, we've been here before and we recovered from it. I don't know whether we're going to successfully recall the governor. That's an initiative that's ongoing. What I can tell you is that the same mistakes the liberals have made before, they're making again. And so for all of us who have been in the fight for all those years, 2003 when we did recall Gray Davis, and the years that followed, what we've been able to see is there are no permanent wins, there are no permanent losses. It is a struggle that will go on forever. And I want to share something. Rebecca could do this better than I can, obviously. But let me just give you the last words of the national anthem from the first stanza, at least. Does anyone know what's unique about our national anthem? I didn't know this till recently. Somebody said it to me and said, do you know it's the only one that ends in a question? Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? We have been questioning, not is the flag actually waving, but are we still the home of the free and the brave? And the answer has been, and Buzz is a good example of that, our men and women are still answering the call. And wars are not easy and they're not decided the way we'd like them decided. We don't end and suddenly the world is great for 40 more years. That's the reason that Republicans will retake the House. If not this time, next time. But you know what? It's going to be this time. And it's going to be this time because people like Adam Schiff have forgotten what happened 20 years ago. Have any of you looked at what Adam was saying 20 years ago?
Same thing.
Well, he was running against Jim Rogan. And he ran against Jim Rogan for the excess of impeaching Bill Clinton. For real. You can't make this stuff up. The only difference was Jim Rogan never had to make up a fake line of what Bill Clinton did. He just, literally was the chief, lawyer on Judiciary Committee, and he did his job. So now, 20 years later, we are back in a position of great opportunity. We retake the House, and I believe we will this time. We win the election, hold the Senate. What we have is a second act of this president. But let's look at the first act of this president. The first act, this president has named more conservative judges to the appellate courts in the first 4 years than the last guy did in the last 8, which is good because we needed to do that. This president has also, and we can all question his diplomacy, but he has also successfully gotten renegotiation of a better deal with Mexico, a better deal with Canada, a better deal with Korea, a better deal with Japan, and now a better deal with China. And I know in this room, you know, we generally have warm feelings about Europe. But let's understand, Europe, Western Europe bans much of our agriculture because, quote, it's GMO and it will kill you and you will die. The bottom line is, it's a protectionist policy and they know it. Additionally, we'll just take one example that the president is very good at saying. When a BMW comes in the United States, we charge it 2% tariff. When a BMW made in South Carolina goes to Europe, they charge 12. That's the world that President Trump inherited, and it's the world that, given a second term, we will get even a fairer relationship that we deserve with Europe. So, stock markets go up and down, but they all, on average, they go up with Trump. And I just want us all to remember that's what we're fighting for. Now I'm going to close because all of you have already helped me, and I'll endow it to John. John Franklin, raise your hand. He will continue asking for more help as much as I will. But when March 3rd is over, and this Trump positive seat is in my hands, we have from March 3rd until November for me to campaign for Buzz, for Brian Marriott, and for all the races, Young Kim, and so on, all the races throughout, and Steele. We have 5 or 6 seats we can take back. Valadeo is another one up in your neck of the woods. We have 5 or 6 seats we can take back. So, you know, when I ask you for help now, and Audrey, thank you, because you're the reason everyone's here. And although I appreciate you and Frank both doing this, I must admit, Frank couldn't have gotten me in this tux. It was you that got me to wear the tux. The fact is that after March 3rd, the beauty of this seat is just like my old seat for most of the years that I was in it. You finish up with the primary, you get it over, and you head out on the campaign trail. And so I'll be, and there were a couple Lebanese Americans here earlier who had to leave, but I will tell you, I will be in Dearborn, Michigan, campaigning in a seat in a state that is a swing state to push to get a lot of those votes to come back again for Trump. I will be in Ohio. I will be everywhere I need to be, and I will be there because once March 3rd's over, because of you, I will be able to do that. So I want to thank you all for being here. Can we do one more thing though? Can we all just stand up, look over at Audrey and say, how did you get us all here? Thank you, Audrey. Audrey, we can't hear you. You should come up here and talk.
Yeah. Come on, Audrey.
Somebody take her up there. Okay, I'll do it.
Come on, sweetheart.
Is this one of the squeaky mics? No. Well, I was thinking about having a function for it. Where's my psychiatrist? Well, I was thinking about having this function, I guess we should call it event, and we had a little problem because so many things going on now. So I started working on the program about 3 weeks ago, and then they said, well, okay, it's okay, we can do it. But so I put on there the 3 o'clock. You can be here at 3 o'clock. And then John said, well, do you think we could make this 4? Because we have to drive all the way from San Diego. We might have another meeting in the morning. So I said, well, okay. But so if any of you wonder why in the invitation it says 3 and 4, it's because they really, everything. The last time I did a party like this, no, it's okay, don't admit it.
The last time you did it, your neighbors threatened to sue.
Well, they may still be there. But they promised they wouldn't, but then they did. But anyway, it's really a pleasure. Number one, to get to see all the people that I never get to see otherwise. And secondly, I feel so proud because they're supporting something that is very dear and near to my heart. I mean, the country is kind of a mess. I think anybody would agree. Don't you think? I just went into court on Wednesday with a very frivolous, stupid thing. The girl that is bringing it says, "Oh, we love your company, we love me, they love everybody, but they're going to bring a class action suit because we overpaid them for time cards." No, seriously, it's that crazy. And it occurs to me that they're doing the same thing to companies now that they're doing with President Trump. And I think it's really, we have to do something. I mean, because it's so insane. And a lot of you here have companies, so I think you're probably thinking about the very same thing. There is an association that's guarding against those guys now, but they're out for anything that they can find. So it's very depressing. So when I get to support a guy like Darrell Issa, well, I can hardly wait, you know. And Buzz Patterson, also great guys, both of them, and I really hope they win. And yes, you all look beautiful tonight. Thank you.
Now, you should stop after Audrey, and I will, but I would like to just remind Audrey of something that's kind of bittersweet. The last time you hosted an event for us here, Bob Hoover, remember, made that wonderful presentation, and he has since passed away at a tender age. And the story, you know, I sent you a little t-shirt or whatever, but I went back to Oshkosh this year for the largest fly-in of small aircraft anywhere in the world, and everywhere you went, that man was being talked about. There were tchotchkes, you know, cups and t-shirts and everything else, because he in fact did so much for aviation and for people's belief in this great country throughout, first as a POW escaping more times than they caught him, but as a great American for his entire life. And I would not have gotten to have that time with Bob and those precious moments if it hadn't been for Audrey pulling a neighbor down to be there for me.
And Darrell, may I tell you that these two sitting over there are Bob Hoover's very close personal friends. The Cochrans, Joan and Brian Cochran, and her mother Maria.
Well, anyhow, I wanted to include that only because this home has been a special place on the occasions that I've been honored to be here. Thank you all for being here. We'll be in touch, but vice versa. If you want to know more about the campaign, click on it, talk to us, tell us what you think. Anything you get in the way of observations, we need it. After March 3rd, you can tell me where to go as long as it's a campaign for one of our Republicans. Thank you.
Thank you, Darrell. Congressman Darrell Issa. So, two things I just wanted to mention. March 3rd is the California primary, but I would like everyone here to talk to all of their friends that can possibly vote for Darrell and for Buzz. Yep. And please remember that absentee ballots go out February 3rd, 30 days before the election. That means someone in San Diego or Sacramento can get a ballot in the mail on March 4th and vote and send it in, and they're done. So our election really is February 3rd, let's say, okay? So that's really important. So please tell all of your friends in San Diego But Temecula, San Diego Worlds? Riverside?
All the way from Temecula to the Mexican border.
From Temecula to the Mexican border. You got that, Ming? Okay? Okay? Okay, and for Sacramento, Roseville? Down to Galt.
Yes.
Where is John Galt? No, sorry.
So, Folsom,
Folsom?
Colorado Hills,
Colorado Hills? Oh, El Dorado Hills, I'm sorry. El Dorado Hills. Okay, North County. If you guys know that, please tell your friends. Remember, February 3rd, absentee ballots go out. Now, speaking of ballots, I want to tell you something. We have someone here that's really special to me, to my heart too, and to Audrey's. There was an election for U.S. Senate here in California, and the Senate seat comes up once every 6 years. So when Barbara Boxer decided not to run, a whole bunch of people ran, 32 to be exact. Out of the 32 people, there were only 12 Republicans. 12 Republicans ran for U.S. Senate. And there was somebody right here in this room that ran. And that person, believe it or not, that person came in number 2. Out of 32 people came in number 2 on the Republican side. On the Republican side. Okay? That person happens to be a longtime friend of Darrell's. He's a small businessman. He's a real estate investor. He's an engineer by trade, by education. He came here from another country. He's been a blessing. I mean, talk about the American dream. Come here. The guy literally slept on a bench in Central Park for a week. Okay? That's the immigrant story, right? Hustles, comes here, goes to school, gets his degree, works for, I think it was Grumman, he'll tell you later. Anyway, he worked on the F-18s. He got into the cell phone business, security business, alarms. That's how he met Darrell from Viper Alarm Systems, right? And he was number 2. And he lives right here in Palos Verdes, in Rolling Hills, and his name is Arun Bumitra. Arun, would you please stand up? Thank you, Arun.
Folks, I got about 500,000 votes, and I want to thank all of you who voted for me. But going forward, we have some real issues in California which we don't talk on a day-to-day. You got transportation, you got water. We want real jobs, manufacturing jobs to come back over here. So we need to do something to tackle the bigger issues. There's a disconnect between the federal government and the state. That has to be coordinated. And that's, you need somebody, and we need to get rid of do-nothing Kamala Harris.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you, Arun. That's Arun Bumitra. Remember, he's going to be running in 3 years, so remember his name. Arun, A-R-U-N, Bumitra. Oh, can I take total? I want to take total credit for this. Total credit for this. In 2000 or 2001, I was at Sean Steele's house. Some of you may not know, but Sean Steele was a former CRP chairman. His wife, Michelle Steele, is running for Congress for Dana Rohrabacher's seat. Good friends of mine. They used to live right here in Rolling Hills. So I'm at a barbecue at a party, 2001, and I'm just looking around saying hello, my friends, and I see this guy standing there. So I see this guy standing there by himself, and everyone's walking by him. And so I walked up to him, and I introduced myself. I said, my name's Alhan. He says, hi, I'm Arun Bumitra. I said, what was that? I said, Arun Bumitra. I said, what was that? I said, Arun Bumitra. So anyway, long story short, Arun was, like Buzz, a lifelong Democrat. Was. It took me, get this, 15 years. I take all the credit, Arun. 15 years of me bothering him, slamming him, begging him, teaching him, educating him, bringing him, inviting him, opening up the doors to the Republican Party. And he finally said, you know what? The Democrats don't do anything. Ding! The light went off, right? So now we have, let's give a round of applause for our 2 former lifelong Democrats that are now Republicans, Arun Bumitra and Buzz Patterson.